The story begins with Rohan, a wealthy young man who lives alone in a large house. Despite having a comfortable life, he is emotionally distant and careless about the people around him. One day, he learns that Kani, a former classmate with whom he had a brief relationship, has died by suicide. Rohan feels guilty because he had ignored her after their relationship ended. He visits Kani's house to pay his respects. While he is there, he notices some of her belongings. One particular object catches his attention, and he later takes it with him. After returning home, Rohan begins experiencing strange incidents. He hears unexplained sounds and notices things moving without anyone touching them. At first, he assumes that stress or his imagination is responsible. But the disturbances become more intense. Rohan starts feeling that someone is watching him inside his own house. The atmosphere becomes increasingly frightening, and he begins to suspect that Kani's spirit may have returned from the dead. Rohan's fear continues to grow as the supernatural incidents become more frequent. He begins to believe that Kani's spirit is haunting him because of the way he treated her before her death. Desperate to understand what is happening, Rohan seeks help from Madhusudanan Potti, known as Madhu, a man with knowledge of supernatural phenomena. Madhu examines the situation and begins investigating the strange presence inside Rohan's house. At first, even he suspects that Kani could be responsible. However, the investigation soon reveals something unexpected. The entity communicating with Rohan does not seem to be Kani at all. Instead, there appears to be a male presence connected to Kani's past. Rohan and Madhu realize that they need to discover the identity of this unknown spirit before it becomes even more dangerous. Their investigation takes them back to Kani's family and the people who were close to her. Slowly, they uncover disturbing information that had been hidden from Rohan. The mystery becomes much bigger than a simple ghost seeking revenge. The investigation eventually leads Rohan and Madhu to Elsama, a woman who worked at Kani's house. Elsama had told everyone that her son had gone to Saudi Arabia for work, but Rohan discovers that this story is not true. Her son, Manu, also known as Philip Sebastian, had developed an unhealthy obsession with Kani. He was deeply attached to her and collected things connected to her. However, Kani did not return his feelings. Manu was also suffering from cancer. Instead of leaving for Saudi Arabia, he remained in Kerala and eventually died from his illness. Elsama was devastated by the death of her son and could not accept that he was gone. In an extremely disturbing act, she kept Manu's dead body hidden inside a room in the house. She continued behaving as though her son was still alive. Rohan eventually discovers the corpse and realizes that Manu's spirit is connected to the strange events surrounding him. The supernatural presence haunting Rohan is not simply the ghost of Kani. It is connected to Manu and his unhealthy obsession with her. Rohan is horrified after discovering Manu's corpse hidden inside the house. But the situation becomes even more dangerous when Manu's spirit begins attacking him. Madhu investigates the connection between Manu and Kani and discovers that certain belongings have become important links between the living world and the spirit. Manu's attachment to Kani has continued even after his death, allowing his restless spirit to remain connected to the physical world. Rohan and Madhu try to find a way to break this connection, but Manu's spirit becomes increasingly violent, making it difficult for them to get close to the corpse. Eventually, Rohan realizes that the object connecting Manu's spirit to the physical world must be destroyed. In a desperate attempt to end the haunting, he removes the object and destroys it in fire. The supernatural presence finally begins to disappear. During the confrontation, the house catches fire, forcing Rohan, Madhu, and Elsama to escape. Rohan believes that the nightmare is finally over. Manu's body is destroyed, the spirit appears to have disappeared, and the terrifying events come to an end. But the movie still has one final surprise waiting for him. After everything that happened, Rohan believes he can finally return to his normal life. He prepares to leave and start over somewhere else. But just before he leaves, something strange happens. Inside his bedroom, Rohan notices that his bed appears to be occupied, as if an invisible person is sitting on it. He slowly approaches the bed and realizes that something supernatural is still present. Then he notices an object connected to Karini. Rohan becomes terrified because he knows that this object should not be there. He had believed that destroying Manu's connection had ended the supernatural events. But now it becomes clear that another spirit may still be connected to him. The final moments strongly suggest that Karini's spirit may have returned. Rohan had spent the entire story believing that. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Maluflix for more hidden Indian movie stories and unforgettable cinema. Maluflix, stories that stay.